Guys, today we got a package in the mail that's gonna take my bike and change it completely. As you can see, got the beautiful package right here. And the best knife for opening up packages would have to be a bread knife, 100%. Kids, don't try this at home. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Gotta cut down this. Here we go. The moment you've all been waiting for, the package that will change my bike completely. I know everyone was so excited. First off, we've got our bubble wrap, the most important piece. And then we've got, which looks like just a tube. But let's pull it out here. Here we go. Wow. Wow. Look at that. So this is actually a Fox spring for my rear shock, which is a coil, obviously. But what this is gonna do is make it easier to compress. So it's pretty much just like your air suspension on your air shocks when you adjust the sag and stuff. So this one is a 200. So the one I have on the bike now is actually a 400. So it takes double the amount of pounds or pressure to collapse the spring. So what I noticed about this one is it's a lot more glossy than the one I have on my bike, and I will show that now. So yeah, it's pretty cool spring. We're gonna put it on the bike, test it out, and we're gonna answer the question: does sag really matter on a bike, and does it really need to compress? You'll all find out in the next 5 minutes. To take the rear shock off and change the coil. I've never done this before, so hopefully this goes as planned. Before I do that though, I'm gonna want to show you the difference between the shock I have on now and the shock I'm putting on. So to do that, I'm just gonna sit on this bike, take a video, see how much it compresses. Then once the next spring is on, just do the same. So I'm just going to sit on the bike. I don't have any riding gear on or even shoes. Just gonna put all my weight on the shock. It's all the way open, and we're gonna see how much it compresses. So right here. So I'm just going to sit on the bike. I don't have any riding gear on or even shoes. Just gonna put all my weight on the shock. It's what you're gonna need to change the shock on your bike or just take it off. I believe all you need on at least this bike is a 5mm Allen key. So let's zoom the camera in a bit and then take this thing off finally. Lefty loosey. Okay, we'll just loosen it off that much. There's also a reason why I'm filming this close, and that would be because there are actually spacers in between the shock, so I need to know which, the way they go in. Now what I do have to make sure is I believe once the shock is out, your bike will just fall on itself because you have this pivot here. Yeah, I think we should be good. The moment of truth. Yeah, so it did go down on itself. So you probably can't tell, but there's another Allen key on the other side, and that's just to keep the other bolt from turning, so you can unloosen this side. If you have two people around, You may want to have that other person come in every now and then, but I should be good. So if you can just grab this shock when it comes out. So pull the pivot out, and the shock should slide out. I got it. Okay, you're good. Then grab this bolt right here. Slide the shock out. And we didn't lose any spacers, so that's fine. Just leave them there. I'm not sure if those are supposed to come out. So yeah. So what there was this sort of axle bolt, and then this one would go into it, so it would sort of like cup the suspension well. This bolt also has Loctite on it, so if you are replacing the bolts, you probably want to put some Loctite on that. But now we got to the spring. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to loosen this spring upwards. It's a bit hard to tell if it goes upwards or downwards. You may need a bit of trial and error, but once you have it loosened,
Six and a half hours later. A few inches later.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
yes. Okay, so we finally have the spring loose, as you can see, which means we can slide this bottom sort of cup piece off. So what you have to do is push it down underneath. We got some sand in here, it sounds like. So this is also a good way. If you're gonna take your spring off, you might as well clean it. So, as you can see there, I pushed it down. Oh, this may take a bit. I'll just slide this a bit more. There we go. So all I had to do was just slide this up a bit more, so I had a bit more space to pull this out. So, as you can see, that's what you have, like that. Oops, so we're gonna go clean that after. And then we have our, like you can see on my hand, mud. Pull that out, and you've got your sort of thing that presses it in. And it will feel like it doesn't fit, but it does. And then, as you can see, the spring just comes right off of the shock. Okay, so now it's time to reassemble this shock with the lighter spring. So the way I'm gonna do this is, well, make sure the spring isn't upside down, but if like, I just wanna show you guys this again, but this shock is a lot smaller. Like I thought there was gonna be a difference, but this is like a really big difference. You're probably saving £1 for switching to the shock.
Time to put the shock back on the bike.
Okay, I think it's safe to say we got a little bit carried away there. Finally! Now that I've covered all that, it's time to go to bed and wake up tomorrow and go for a nice ride, settle this shock in, and really answer the question, does suspension setup really matter? See you tomorrow. So yes, this video will be a two-part video. You're gonna have to wait till next week to see how this shock compares, or spring compares, to my old spring, and we're going to be going over what are the differences. Now you're probably like, Parker, where are you going to ride this bike? Well, I'm going to take it to the Lookout Gravity Trails, which is the closest trail center to my house, and we're going to answer the question, does suspension setup really matter? See you next week.